Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. Criminals caught with hundreds of monster boxes of silver eagles. Let's explore! This is amazing news that comes to us from KELOland.com, another precious metal crime where the criminals have found refuge in silver eagles. That's right. Pretty amazing to think about. Look at all those silver eagles. Monster boxes, hundreds of them stocked up on pallets here. Let's look at this story. If you enjoy stories like this, I do like to bring news of precious metal crimes or anything related to precious metals in the news. But I have two playlists, one with precious metal crimes and another one with found precious metal treasures, if you're interested in those. And if you like content like this, I hope you will gently press that thumbs up button. It is lonely down there. That thumbs button is lonely, and it needs you to caress it. So from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, an international scheme involving millions of dollars, fake humanitarian projects, silver coins, and suspects still on the run. Sounds like a plot of a Hollywood movie. But this was all part of a case that was tried in federal court in South Dakota just before Thanksgiving. Now, KELOland investigates, has obtained photos of evidence that helped lead to two convictions in the case, including a pallet of silver coins purchased with the victim's money. A jury found Nathan Peachy of Pennsylvania and John Weiner of New Mexico guilty of numerous counts of wire fraud and money laundering. The two claimed to be collecting money for religious charities and humanitarian projects, but instead stole nearly $13 million through banks and international wire transfers. The case was tried in Sioux Falls because they used South Dakota banks, and some of the victims are also located there. And here is the verdict here form. Look at all those guilties. And commit wire fraud, conspiracy to launder monetary instruments. Count 8 of laundering monetary instruments. And yes, indeed, count 10, laundering of monetary instruments. Crazy. Look at that. Look at all those guilty, wire fraud, laundering, money laundering, insane in the membrane. All right, very good. All right, moving down. The uniqueness of this case is the manner in which they were going to spend the profits of the scheme, meaning that if you put in money, you were going to get 20 to 25% of those returns, and some of those returns would be used for humanitarian or ecclesiastical projects. That many of the victims could have a say in what they look like, that they could have built homes or orphanages in third world countries. Tyler Hatcher, who's a special agent in charge of the IRS criminal investigations, said. Peachy claimed to be a pastor, but during the trials, prosecutors say the scheme was anything but Christian, and not a single dime went into those projects. The money was funneled through Norway. Oftentimes, the thought process of the criminals is that we can't reach it there. We don't have any investigative authority. We can't get the money back. We can't talk to witnesses. And that, in fact, is not the case, Hatcher said. Here's one of the silver coins purchased, the Silver Eagle here, strapped, in fact, originally wrapped. These things have the original straps on them from the mint that even bothered to open up most of those. The defendants purchased $2.8 million in silver coins and silver eagles on these pallets inside this home in Norway. The jury voted that all the coins and the home would be forfeited for restitution to victims in the scheme. Wow. And there's the home itself, found in Norway. Though it's been seized for restitution, but there is a photo of that house. Unfortunately, in these cases, it's usually pennies on the dollar, Hatcher said. Airport receipts from Oslo also show how the scammers spent the money. A large chunk of these funds were used by the defendants. They would use these for personal trips, Hatcher said. Authorities say the men used religion as a way to lure their victims in, but the promise of returns on investment of 20 to 25% and the promise that investors could choose their own humanitarian project should have raised red flags, indeed. Another man charged in the scheme, Frederick Arias, left the country. He is a former Arizona detective and is listed as one of the FBI's most wanted fugitives. There he is, Frederick Arias. Yes, look at that. Crazy, crazy. You can see what he looks like now. Wow, crazy to think about. Lauren Rossier of Norway claims to be the bishop of an international Christian authority. Authorities say he is in hiding, and they want to bring him to South Dakota for trial. Peachy and Weiner are scheduled to be sentenced in February. And here is another document, the Peachy indictment. Yes, crazy. And so, yeah, it's a very interesting indeed, a fascinating story, but I think what's the most revealing about this is the pallet full of silver coins in this case. Pretty wild. Look at all that silver in pallets. Some of these boxes have been opened, but a lot of them, most of them have not. And these are stacked up 8 boxes high, and 8 times 5 is 40, and there's 40 on each pallet. So you got hundreds of these boxes here. It's crazy, man. And each box, as you know, if you don't know, it's 500 coins per box. 500 silver eagles that you see here. And shoot, just to get one monster box is quite an effort for those of us who earn our money honestly. But for criminals, it's no problem. They just make a bunch of purchases of them, stack them all up, and it makes you wonder wherever they ordered them from, if they ordered them at the same time, if that large of a purchase might not have raised a red flag. It's quite a way to hide your money, and I tell you what, it's interesting that they chose silver eagles, and why not gold eagles, especially in foreign countries. I don't know. You'd think VAT would catch that, but I don't know what the VAT is in Norway, and that's a value-added tax for those of you in Rio Linda. But nonetheless, this is the case here. Silver eagles purchased. And how much gold could they have hidden away somewhere would be very interesting to think if they would have bought a couple of kilo bars or even just gold eagles. Who knows? But they chose silver for some reason. Very interesting, fascinating story. Let me know what your thoughts are. Criminals, I tell you what, the things they do and the reaches they go. Some of them are very smart, but apparently in this case, they did not cross all of their T's and dot all of their I's. So there you have it. Post your thoughts in the comments section below. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch this video, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.